After nearly a decade of designing and developing websites, I've seen countless companies make the same mistakes that quietly damage their online reputation and cost them significant revenue in the form of lost sales opportunities. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down the top 10 most common website mistakes I regularly see in my day-to-day work as a marketing strategist. Whether you are a business owner, marketing director, or fellow web designer, these are the mistakes you need to ensure your website avoids if you actually want to convert visitors into paying clients. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Bailey Canning. I'm a full stack marketing strategist based in Denver, Colorado, working with my clients on brand strategy engagements, web design and development projects, and ongoing marketing retainers. As part of my work as a marketing consultant, I regularly put out videos discussing these types of topics, as well as giving you a behind the scenes look at what it's like to run a modern marketing consultancy. If any of that sounds interesting to you and you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button so you can keep up to date with me, and feel free to introduce yourself in the comments. The number one biggest mistake I regularly see on company websites is the fact that their site is super outdated and, quite frankly, leaving people wondering if they're still in business. This is true for companies that are relatively well established and companies that have been around for decades and are making tens of millions of dollars in profit per year. This outdated and uninspiring design will have people questioning the value of your company's products and services, and ultimately will make marketing your company much harder than it needs to be. If your company has an outdated, boring website, then you're purposely choosing to market your business on hard mode instead of just investing in website redesign that will dramatically improve and make marketing your company significantly easier going forward. Honestly, you would be shocked how many companies I know of that are doing millions of dollars of revenue per year that still have old, outdated looking websites built on bloated WordPress themes. You would think this would apply mostly to small or medium-sized businesses, but I can tell you this critique is very industry and revenue agnostic. You may be tempted to dismiss this critique by saying it doesn't matter what our website looks like, we provide great service or we have a great product. If that's your thought process, you don't understand how important appearance is in actually conveying the value and quality of service your company provides. Seriously, a lot of these websites I see with bland, outdated design or stock images, which we will be getting to, it's the equivalent of showing up to a first date as a guy wearing sweatpants, a baggy t-shirt, and running shoes that look like you literally ran to the date. In today's digital world, your company's website is likely the first impression you get to make on potential prospects and clients. So why would you choose to shoot yourself in the foot purposely? I would argue at a macro level, about half of all business websites could benefit from a redesign or complete revamp. Point number two is poor mobile responsiveness. According to the latest statistics, it's around 70% or so of all website traffic comes from mobile and tablet devices. It does vary by industry. If you are B2B, more of your prospective clients and customers are going to be viewing your website on their desktop while they're at work, while of course if you are B2C, a lot of people are going to be checking out your company on their cell phone. Regardless of what industry you're in, or what device your prospective clients and customers are going to be viewing your website, it needs to be mobile responsive and respond accordingly to the device that it's viewed on. No matter what device people pull up your website, it needs to look fantastic. Cell phones have been able to browse the web comfortably for over a decade, yet still you would be surprised how many times I'm reviewing potential prospective client websites and on live sales calls, I'm pointing out problems. This is something you really need to get dialed in because while it might look great on desktop, if you look on your phone and it's a disaster, then 70% or so of prospective visitors to your website are going to be thinking the same thing. The third biggest mistake I see on company websites is a lack of social proof. This comes in the form of client testimonials as well as past case studies or portfolio projects. Now, listen, I know it can be very difficult to go about soliciting testimonials from your clients and customers. It's not something I necessarily like to do either, and it's very easy to forget about. But I can tell you that this is probably the most effective content you could have on your website for turning visitors into prospective clients and customers who are willing to schedule that initial consultation with you or ultimately buy your company's product. This may sound obvious to add to your website. Again, you'd be very surprised how many companies don't feature any testimonials or examples of their past work. I recommend putting a system in place where every month or quarter you are reaching out to past clients and directly getting testimonials from them. If you want to take this a step further, I recommend video testimonials. This is something I recently did for a new agency website I launched, and I was very happy that my clients were willing to help me out with this. The video testimonial is much more compelling than the regular written testimonial. So I highly recommend video testimonials, as well as investing in high quality case studies or portfolio projects if applicable to your company. People want to see not just what your past clients and customers say about your brand, but also numbers and statistics that showcase the value you bring. That's the best way they can measure the effectiveness of your work. Next biggest issue I regularly see on client websites is slow page loading speed. If your business website was built with an old WordPress theme, then you probably have a website loading speed issue, which you need to fix right away. There is a tool called Google Page Speed Insights. You can copy and paste in the domain of your company website, and then it'll run a test and give you a score of how fast your website is loading. Make sure you do this on several pages. You can't just do it on the home page and think that it applies to the entire website. The reason why this is problematic is because if your website is taking forever to load, people are going to bounce. So you're going to be losing website traffic from people who had already clicked from an ad or from a social media post. There are several statistics out there that show that for every additional second a website takes to load, past 3 seconds, people drop off at significant rates. It's going to lead to higher bounce rates on your website of people deciding they've had enough and they're going to go check out a competitor's website. Ultimately, it's going to be like filling a bucket with water that has a hole in it, and some of that water is just leaking out continuously. So you're really just going to be bleeding potential customers and clients here. So definitely want to make sure that your website is loading fast. Under 3 seconds is ideal. Quick intermission here. If, as you're watching this video, you're coming to the realization that your company is making several of these mistakes online and you would like to pick my brain on your company's website and overall digital marketing strategy, then book a free consultation with myself. There's going to be a link in the description with a form where you can submit some more information. Based on your inquiry, if I think we're a good fit to work together, I will get back to you with a link to book time directly on my calendar. This meeting is not a sales pitch, rather it's a one-to-one conversation where I will take the time to learn more about your company, its competitors, the landscape it's facing, and then based on everything you tell me about your business, I will help you outline a website and digital marketing game plan so that you can generate more leads, increase revenue, and ultimately grow your company online. Link in the description to learn more, and without further ado, let's get back into the video. Next thing we need to talk about is poor quality images. If your website is using stock photography or AI generated photography where it's super obvious that it's AI, that is going to dramatically affect sales effectiveness on your website because it just looks cheap and cheesy and just fails to communicate any sort of trust or authority and makes it very impersonal, quite honestly. Regardless of what industry you're in or what type of company you're involved with, I would highly recommend hiring a professional photographer who has a professional camera to take photos of you, your place of business, your team, your client projects, all that type of stuff. Even if you need to rent out a space, trust me, it's worth it. It's going to make a much more personal connection on your website, and it's going to dramatically improve the marketing and sales effectiveness because of that. The next biggest mistake I regularly see on business websites is not having any sort of content resources. By this, videos, podcasts, written articles, downloadable lead magnets, white papers, PDFs. This is important because in today's day and age, your website cannot just be a simple digital sales brochure, but rather it needs to be a platform where you can publish marketing content and then distribute that content to various different marketing channels. Furthermore, this content is going to be the most effective content you're going to have for establishing your company's credibility, and it's going to dramatically improve your conversion rates through every single stage of the sales process. Next one here is going to be too many pop-ups or chatbots. We've all been on those websites where After it loads, 1 second in, you're already getting hit with a pop-up. In the e-commerce world, that's one thing because at least they're gonna give you a coupon code, so there is value to it. But so many business websites I go to are spamming me with pop-ups or chatbots when they haven't had a chance to read the first headline. If you are going to be leveraging chatbots or pop-ups, make sure that you're giving people a significant amount of time to browse the website before inundating them with those types of offers. Not only is this going to annoy people, but it's also going to make your business come off as a bit sleazy and desperate for new clients. The next thing that is destroying your company's credibility online is going to be broken links. Nothing screams unprofessional or sloppy or simply we don't really know what we're doing here than broken links on a website. There are several tools out there that will crawl your website and let you know of any broken links or redirect chains. The one I like to use is called SE Ranking. I've made a video on that in the past. It's actually a full suite SEO tool. Regardless of what tool you have, I would highly recommend you run a scan regularly on your website. This is something I do weekly for my clients that will alert you to any broken links, and then you can easily fix them. Another issue I regularly see on websites are security issues, mainly due to the SSL certificate. We've all seen that where you try to go to a website and it says that this website is unsafe. Now, that is going to be very damaging for your online credibility, as you can well imagine. I would highly recommend if your website has that error, even if it just says not secure at the top, that is enough to make people question browsing your website. It's just ultimately going to harm your company's online reputation. Most hosting providers provide a free SSL certificate these days. If your hosting provider does not, it's probably a cheap, low quality host, and I would look to get a more premium service provider. This should be something very easy to fix, and there's no excuse for having it on your website. The last thing I'm going to mention here, and there is certainly no excuse for this one either, and that is going to be typos throughout the copy of your website. Nothing screams like grammar school incompetence than misspelled words on a website. Now, we've all made those mistakes, it's understandable, but certainly before you go to launch a new website, or if you haven't done this in a while, I would recommend copying and pasting all the copy on every single page of your website and putting it into a Grammarly doc so that it can automatically spell check all the words. Seriously, nothing speaks more unprofessional and untrustworthy than grammar mistakes on a website. There is simply no excuse. So if you're worried about this, simply paste all the copy into a Grammarly doc and you should be able to make these edits relatively fast. All right, everyone, so that is the video for today. I hope you got a lot out of it, and I certainly hope that your website is not guilty of any of these mistakes. If it is, you certainly want to outline a roadmap for fixing that quickly. Like I said, you're welcome to book a free consultation with myself to review your website and put together a digital marketing game plan to improve it. Otherwise, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe, and if there's anything you think I missed or anything you want to add to the conversation, feel free to drop a comment and I will get back to you when my schedule allows. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.